Hey y'all, welcome to today's reading. So today I'm going to be reading on Miss Ice Spice. Honestly, she was not at the top of my list to read for 2026. Before I do any readings, I do consult with my spirits on who should I read first or if there are any cautions that they have for me before I read on any of the celebrities slash entertainers. And last night, the person that I got first was Ice Spice, which I was very surprised about. So I'm curious to know if Spirit has a specific message just for her. But I don't listen to her on a regular basis. I actually added her to my list of people to read just because I wanted to see how she would do for 2026. I did see a blind item a while back that her label was considering dropping her unless she came up with a hit that garnered a lot of attention and or money. So it feels like maybe she may have been on the chopping block as far as her music label goes, but we'll just go ahead and tap into her energy. Music may not even come up for her at all today, but let's see if it's music or something else. So to start for this reading, I do want to pull from the oracles first and then we'll get into the tarot. And also, I do want to mention that before I did the reading, as I was pulling cards for her, before I got the cards out for her, I was going to use a standard tarot deck. But Spirit told me that I needed to use the vampire deck because she is in the industry, which is interesting. I've never had something like that happen before for reading for some of these artists. So it's going to be very interesting to see what comes up for her. But anyways, let's get started. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start with the oracle deck to see what comes up. I do not know her first name, so I'm just going to refer to her moniker as Ice Spice, and she is a Capricorn. So let's see what the oracles have to say for Ice Spice. What do you have to say for Miss Ice Spice? What is her current energy? Current energy. Okay, Spice. First three cards from the Oracle. First card is bounce back, resilience after setbacks, recovering quickly, determined to rise again, can't keep me down. So that's the first card that came out for her. And then we have crossroads. I think you all kind of know what that means, being at an important decision, making your next step, choosing wisely. And then we have on red, so ignored, waiting anxiously, no replies. No, they're just busy. Immediately as I'm looking at the cards, I do get more music industry energy from this. And then also her last few singles have not done really well. I know her album she did, I believe last year or the year before last, didn't really do too good, and in comparison to her peers. But it's almost like she's had a few setbacks. I know she just did the SpongeBob movie soundtrack, which didn't really do too much. If anything, it was pretty controversial based on what she was wearing to the premiere. I know she did get a lot of flack about that. But it just feels like there's something going on here as far as her music goes and her music career. Maybe she's at the point where she's trying to figure out what direction to go in. Her last single, Thuthi, and I was channeling that song before the reading, but that song, I thought it was cute. I liked the video, but I don't think that it did enough for her to stand out. It wasn't a huge hit. It wasn't a mega smash that I think it could have been. And when I look at ignored messages, I get more of the feeling of maybe people she's worked with in the past, producers, executives that she's worked with, or even colleagues she's tried to get in touch with on different things when it comes to her music, but they're not responding to her messages. So maybe she's trying to get in touch and they're not responding to her like they would have done perhaps a year ago. So that's kind of the energy I'm getting from her. She's trying to figure out what direction to go into. And I know she started streaming on Twitch more. So I wonder if she's pivoting now into going into the streaming arena, which I think a lot of celebrities are starting to go into. It is very lucrative. So I don't watch it myself, but I would imagine that she's trying to figure out which direction to go to as far as her music career. So, and then at the bottom, I do have Deja Vu. And then, as I mentioned, that the last few singles that she's had, they didn't really do too well. I feel like after the text messages she had with her ex best friend about Nicki Minaj and how she worked with her and she was complaining, I think that really did put a stain on her career personally. And I think it turned a lot of people off because you have somebody offering you opportunities and to try to help you and build you up. You have the most successful female rapper that you can reach out to for guidance and help, and then you go and complain about her in the background, which, like I said, I think it really did put a damper on the momentum she had. So I got one more oracle card I'm going to pull from. I'm going to pull a Lenormand card. Here's any messages for Ice Spice. I pulled only one card and I pulled the tree. And as I mentioned, trying to bounce back, and she's at a crossroads. This to me gives more of trying to stabilize your foundation. You're trying to put roots down and get stable in said roots. You're trying to find stability essentially. And so that's why I said she's just at this point of trying to figure out what direction to go into. And then I feel like once she puts her roots down, she'll have the stability and it could grow into a tree, but she's just trying to find her footing as far as that goes. And you know, with trees, you have to plant a seed in the soil in order for it to grow. This card is actually also associated with karmic situations. So what you put in is what you get out of it. And I think for her, she really needs to hone in on what she's going to put her focus on and keep it there instead of trying to balance different things. And I know she's been dibbling and dabbling in acting, so maybe that's something she could also look into. But I feel like this is more of a message of staying focused on one avenue right now, putting your roots down or your seeds down and letting them grow. But as I mentioned, you're at this crossroads here trying to figure out what the next step is. So it gives more of like a lot of indecision and maybe even confusion as well. So I think once I pull from the tarot, that'll give me a better idea of what she has going on and what message Spirit has for her. But for now, she's just in this weird place of what I should put my focus in currently and trying to bounce back from the scrutiny, from the controversy. I took that off the table. And now I want to pull the tarot for her. So I pulled Page of Cups for her for the first card. Page of Cups can be someone that is very intuitive, but also very creative. If you look in this picture, she is mixing a potion together and she has art supplies and she's trying to formulate a potion, it seems, but essentially she is creating something. So that is her current energy. And then I pulled Five of Cups for her. This can be humiliation, regrets, and in the picture you can see someone is mourning over the death of their mother and father, it seems. So perhaps there is some regret about how she went about certain situations in the past and how she can bounce back from that. Like I mentioned, she has been under a lot of scrutiny with some of the controversy she's been associated with, as well as those leaked text messages. So she's trying to bounce back from that. And I also heard trying to garner public favor. She's creating and trying to bounce back from the regret that she's had in the past about what she's done. I don't know if I get so much remorseful energy from her. I think it's more so regret because she got caught. Oh, and before I continue, I do want to mention that this is for entertainment purposes only. Everything said in today's reading is all alleged, and there is a disclaimer in my description box as well. But I just get more so, okay, I got an obstacle in my way. How can I just turn this back around in my favor? So, all right, let's see. Let's get one more card for her current energy. The next two cards for her current energy, I pulled the Lovers with Death on top of that. Is she still with Riot? I feel like with her and Riot at this point, I don't think they were really serious personally, energetically. And if they were serious, that ended a long time ago. I feel like if they are together, it would be more from probably a PR perspective. Or what came to me also is if you can relate, then you understand what I'm saying. But you know how when you have somebody from your past that you were in a previous relationship, but you guys are probably better off as friends. But you know that if you ever called them, you guys have been broken up for a long time, but if you ever called them or needed them for anything, they would drop everything they do to come and help you out, or they will be very willing to be back in a relationship with you at your beck and call type of energy. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. It could go both ways where she's ending the relationship on her side, but yeah, I don't really think that the relationship was 100% real personally. And like I said, if it was, and it probably was, I don't think it's to the test of time. And then I saw another card that was upside down that was trying to jump out, and we have Five of Wands, so that could be fighting. They could be fighting. And it just could also be a message that it's time for her to completely dead the relationship with the Death card. Doing anything for both of them to just remain together. And like I said, it really just could be for PR purposes, but I don't think that she really likes him like that. I don't. It's time for them to really go their separate ways. I don't know if he's still producing for her, but it's time for them to permanently go their separate ways and move on from each other. I don't think there's an issue with them working together, but as far as a romantic relationship, they need to completely dead it if they haven't already. And then look, Two of Cups at the bottom. It gives the same type of energy. But yeah, I think it's time for them to dead it. So ask Spirit what is currently challenging her energy right now. And I pulled the Chariot. So what's challenging her right now is moving forward. And as you saw in the Oracle cards, she's at a crossroads right now and trying to decide. So that makes sense. Tell me more about the Chariot, please. Now we have Four of Swords, which is releasing, laying something to rest. To me, that feels more of like, I heard control. She has her hands in too many things, too many pots, and she needs to relinquish a little bit of control there. She is a Capricorn, and Capricorns tend to be more business minded and very grounded and focused. So, yeah, I think that she wants to move forward, but sometimes in order to move forward, you do have to let go of some control and let God handle it. Or even don't have your hands in too many things. Try one thing at a time. Take your time with different ventures and let it play out and see if you really like it. And then if it doesn't work out, you can pivot. So yeah, I just think she has her hands in too many things right now. It can be good and bad. But let's see what else for challenging her. And then I have 10 of Cups reversed, also challenging her for this in this message. Yeah, so as I mentioned, trying to relinquish her control because I don't think her heart is in it. Whatever she's trying to pursue or she's trying to work toward or even make the decision about, her heart is not in it. It's definitely not in it, emotionally at least. The money might be good and it might provide at least a sense of stability, but she's not passionate about whatever it is. I wonder if this is music more so than her acting and streaming. So yeah, I definitely guess she's trying to move forward, but Spirit is telling her she needs to slow down and relinquish some control. I would say she should probably tap into more of her passion, something she really enjoys doing. I know she tried to step into fashion, but I don't really know where she is with that. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Two of Pentacles, which, if you know about the tarot, Two of Pentacles could be juggling. But in this picture, you see we have two women. A man is trying to decide which one to go with. And as I mentioned, this crossroads energy trying to decide on a decision or where she wants to go as far as her career focus. Ooh, okay. So the next question I had was hopes and fears for her. So this could also be secrets as well. I'm getting more of this could be more so because in the picture you see that there's a siren here trying to call her to the water. But I think there's some fear here for her. Let's clarify. I pulled Four of Wands to clarify the moon. As I'm channeling, I'm getting more fear of secret, her stability is in the industry, so I can't speak to what they're requiring her to do if she's involved in any allegedly any inappropriate behavior or tasks. But there's some secrets here that she's worried about because, like I said, this is her hopes and fears, and you have the moon to Four of Wands, so there could be some secrets about her family, what she's working on in the background. I'm gonna pull one more clarifier. Okay, so we have the Magician as a clarifier. I think for hopes and fears, there's some secrets around her stability and her work and where she's working toward. And then the Magician also tells me that she is trying to manifest something here. Maybe it's a project or perhaps an opportunity that the industry is offering her, but she's not sure if she wants to do it or not. But it feels like she's trying to manifest something though, but there are some secrets around it. That the Magician was going to be my last clarifier, but I just want to pull one more for her hopes and fears. Yeah, so I pulled Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfilled energy. You've gotten what you wanted. So yeah, she's trying to manifest something that she really desires. But there's some secretive energy here, so I don't think that Spirit is going to tell me exactly what it is that she's wanting to manifest when it comes to her stability and her passions, because I don't even think she's confident enough. At least the energy is giving me not confident enough to reveal that information. This could be something she's very talented at. This could be like, to me, like hidden talent type of energy. There's something she's really good at, but from the public eye, we just don't see it. Like for me, I'll just give an example for myself. One of my hidden talents is that I enjoy drawing and painting, but if you know me, you would never guess that that's something I'm really good at. So it could be something of a hidden talent that she wants to do, but and it would be good for her to explore that, but I think she's afraid, or like I mentioned, not confident enough to explore that for herself. But she is creating though. Outcome for her. What's going to be the outcome for Miss Ice Spice? Outcome for her, I pulled Four of Pentacles. Before I finished pulling that card, I did hear in my mind the industry is only offering her certain things. I don't think that she has the ability, at least not yet, at the level she's at. She doesn't have the ability to pick and choose what she's going to do with her career. It feels more like because she's still considered a new artist, or she just isn't at the level of a Nicki Minaj or at the level of a Little Kim or someone like that. She really has to take the opportunities that the industry give her. I'm not really sure why, but thinking it's along the lines of she just isn't at the level of success of certain artists that have more freedom to pursue other things. And then when I channeled her current outcome, I pulled Four of Pentacles. So that's stability, but that could also be stubborn energy as well. Pentacles for her outcome. Outcome for her for 2020. Okay, so for her outcome, like I mentioned, I pulled Four of Pentacles, and then I pulled the Fool, and then I also pulled Ace of Pentacles for her. So I think for her outcome for 2026, the energy at least is giving to me she is going to take a leap at certain opportunities that may be a little unorthodox. I think this is why she may have some fear or not as much confidence about what it is that she will be pursuing. However, whatever this leap of faith that she is going to take is going to also be very lucrative. I think she should take this leap of faith of whatever it is, and I think she'll be much happier with this endeavor or business opportunity. And I think it's going to give her, and I feel like it's also going to open doors for her. So I think she needs to continue pursuing whatever it is. And it might be kind of off-putting for the general public because we don't see her doing this, or maybe this could just be more of like unexpected surprise type of energy, at least from the general public perspective. But whatever it is, she really should look into doing it. I think it's going to give her the desires of her heart. And all it really takes is for her to take a leap of faith and do it. All right, one more card, Spirit. Okay, the Sun. Yeah, the Sun is a very positive card. And I know that in the picture you see a vampire pushing a human out the window. But like I mentioned, taking that leap of faith, doing something new, take out the aggression, take out the evil figure in there. To me, yeah, I think that Spirit wants her to pursue whatever this new adventure is. It'll definitely be in her favor. Why they told me to do this reading on her today. That although she is afraid of doing something new and it is outside of her comfort zone, I think it'll be really good for her, whatever it is. But I don't think Spirit's ready to reveal that to me during this reading. It's more so for her. But yeah, I think this will be good for her, whatever it is. I don't know if it's like a different type of music sound or a business endeavor, but yeah, I think this will be really, really good for her. I just heard all she has to do is say yes. All right, well, that is all I have for today's reading on Miss Ice Spice. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If there's anybody else that you want me to read on, let me know down there as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that said, that's all I have for today's reading. I'll see you guys in the next one.